I'm Martina. I'm originally from Finland, uh, but I've been in Asia now for about 10 years. So I met my husband here and ended up staying here for a little bit longer. It was supposed to be only 6 months, but 10 years later, still here. um, yeah, and fitness experience. I started with, well, I've always been quite active. Um, my brothers were competitive snowboarders, and my whole family is quite active in that way. So I started with dance background. I was a dancer, and then I was a cheerleader, and then I did a leap from there to CrossFit and started doing some competitions with that one. And then now I'm more in kind of corrective exercise, and then I compete in powerlifting at the moment. For me, it's accumulation of a lot of things. I've always loved working with people. That's been always number one. I just I like that human interaction. Old school in that way. um, and I feel like stuff that has happened to me in my past, like just if I would have been stronger physically, it would have made me feel better and a lot more in control of situations. Like I was attacked in China or mugged in China and stuff like that. So if I was more stronger in those situations physically and mentally, I probably could have helped, like, done that better and gotten through all of that a little bit better. Um, Also, when I was younger, I was severely depressed and on medication, and then I realized that exercise was the only thing that was keeping me actually positive and making me happy. So I thought, if I can learn that from myself, if I can get somebody else to not have to go through all the ups and downs, that I can be that help for someone else to get through, for example, depression, or getting, because I was a little bit, I've always been quite a big girl in a way, like, even though um, I probably wasn't, but I've always seen myself as a big girl. I'm short and I'm curvy. So I was bullied in school of being I have very wide hips and stuff like that, which is nowadays a good thing. But just been bullied a lot. So I had anorexia, I had issues with my body and everything. So, and then on top of that, obviously it's usually the slippery slope for depression. So I always wanted to kind of help anyone who even thinks of that, to not have to go through that. If I can help even one person not to have to go through what I've had to go through, um, and just by helping them to even just if I can listen to them and be that person to take away their bad feeling, then I thought that would be the best thing that I could ever do. The favorite, um, the favorite parts, working with people, obviously. um, I think personally, for me, is the fact that I'm surrounded with amazing knowledge, and it's such a industry that you cannot get stagnated, or if you stop learning, then you're not doing it for the right reasons. So you're constantly getting better every day, and you can go like, you have, I write articles and I get so excited if somebody says something. I'm like, oh wow, I didn't know that. And then I start doing research and I write an article. Even if nobody reads it, I write it for myself, just because I love learning about stuff. And the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. So those are um, those are, I think, the most important things for me. And then just being surrounded with such inspirational people, especially where I work now at Hybrid MMA. We're very open about mental health and all that, because our general managers also have had issues with that. And most of the women, when they end up coming to me, we talk about, I have a lot of pre and postnatal clients, um, and corrective exercise, and it's there's a lot of emotional issues. And the best is I've learned about how to train women. You have to train differently than men, and that it's okay not to also be okay. It's okay to sometimes get a rest day, you know. I think one of the biggest issues is that there are so many like celebrity trainers, or so much kind of misinformation, or
Yeah.
I don't want I don't know how to say it in a not so negative way. Information that's maybe not the best for everyone, if I say it like that. And which might work for younger person, or sometimes it's just complete misinformation as well. And it may be not because they want to put it out there, it's just not knowing, and not having that education behind, and knowing about hormones and how they affect females and no males, and why certain things are not good for those kinds of people, blah blah blah. So I think that's one of those things that is a day-to-day struggle, trying to tell your clients that they can trust you, that there's a reason why certain people can be trusted, and you have to kind of you have to make them believe in what you are, that you are actually knowing what you're doing, because there's so much fluff out there, and there's so many different kind of posts about keto's now the best, or high carb is the best. But you know, how do you know that it's what's the truth? That's I think is one of the hardest things, to make people believe that you actually know what you're doing. I think it just made me even more passionate about the industry, and realize how important it is to stay healthy. Not like I don't mean it in overtraining way or under eating way. I mean it in like knowing how to eat healthy, how to stay healthy, so your immune system stays strong, so you can stay as healthy as you can, and your body's ready to fight whatever you can fight. And if it can't fight, at least your body's strong enough to be in that fight a little bit longer. And for your if you're mentally and physically stronger, you're able to do a lot more and get through a lot more. um, and and I feel like training outside is not a bad thing for a lot of people. Okay, in Hong Kong right now, one day we might have 94% humidity and it's like 30 degrees, and we're training outside. So and it's 100% mask rule, so we have to have masks on all the time. It's tough, but I love the fact that it helps us also move the clients a little bit better. You realize that you don't need that fancy equipment all the time to make people get a good workout. You can do a lot of stuff with just one dumbbell, or with whatever you have around you, and it makes everyone kind of realize that you can do a lot more with little things. Like, you don't have to have an hour at the gym. You can do 5 minutes of that, and then later on that it's just, I think the hardest thing is to make people do stuff and keep them motivated when they don't have that routine of going to the gym. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm hoping that it'll change a little bit in the way of these kind of crash diets and stuff like that. It's hopefully and moving more from only aesthetic based to more of like a wholesome health based kind of look. But I have a feeling that it's gonna the Zoom sessions are here to stay, um, and online personal training is here to stay as well. But I do want to say, like, as a person who works in this industry, to be able to be with people in person, I really hope that we can find a way that we can still do it, at least because I also love, I do classes as well. I just love that energy when you have a group of people doing a class and everybody's just like pushing each other on. So it's really fun online as well. But I hope that we can find a way to do it still in person.
Yeah.
I don't know if I answered your question, but that's, I'm just kind of going off.
It's this balance of like both of those things.
I think if Hong Kong is such a diverse place, so we have a lot of different trends. It depends on your nationality and background and all that, but a huge trends are just for, I feel like Hong Kongese local people are starting to get more and more into weightlifting, women as well, which I really like. And especially I'm working, I compete for the Hong Kong powerlifting, and working with all these amazing ladies here that are doing this kind of stuff. It's just great to see. But it's a lot of stuff, right? Like Hong Kong people, it's humid and hot in the summertime, but in wintertime people love to hike, and summertime's hiking, but obviously in the morning, and very active running outside and stuff like that, because we have the nature, which a lot of people don't know about Hong Kong, is 70% is uninhabitable, it's nature. So you only see that 30% at the waterfront that you see the pictures. So we have beautiful beaches, weekends. I have 2 big dogs. We go for hikes with my husband and we finish off on a beach with the dogs, that kind of stuff. But then training wise, functional fitness, obviously, because I work in MMA, and a strength and conditioning gym. I see a lot of that MMA stuff happening, like Muay Thai, BJJ is huge here, very popular. Yoga is I guess everywhere, and spinning and stuff like that. So it's very very mix of everything. I'm assuming it's pretty much the same as everywhere else.
Yeah.
Never stop learning. Like, even if it's not about what you're interested in. Like if I when I was doing only CrossFit, I was like, CrossFit is life. That's all. There's no other way of doing things. And then you start learning about this another way of doing a deadlift. There's a powerlifting way, or there's a dumbbell. You know what I mean? Like, and it's nothing set in stone, but there are some things that you have to follow, which are like progressive overload and stuff like that. Like there's reasons where we do stuff and safer way. But the fact that I have clients that say like, oh, I never knew I could do a deadlift without my back hurting, is just ridiculous that the trainers don't make that effort to learn how to coach. So I would say just never stop learning. Ask, get a mentor, try and learn from as many pieces of industry. It doesn't have to be about only training, hormonal health, detoxification, mobility, weightlifting, MMA, like anything. Learn, it'll always help. Postnatal,
Yeah.
Oh, it changes. If I do 1 RMs, I need to have something very crazy. But let's say in basic, anything like Post Malone. One of my favorites is Post Malone. Wow, will get me excited for anything. I would say my favorite, if I order in, if I don't make it myself, it would be Vietnamese. And number one thing would be like a banh mi, because it's so good. They make it here good. Yeah. This is my motto in life in general, is if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. So I never take the the road that's the easiest. Take the road that's the hardest, and that'll show you your true colors and get you stronger and mentally and physically.